Just kidding.
You've got a slow car on the left. Clear on the right.
Boom talking.
Car stop on the right.
Whoops, where's it at? Gotta mute that. Hello, viewers. Right now I'm just trying to figure out the way the track works with the, figure out the weather. The weather's a bit slower. The track's a bit hairier. Well, at least the track's a bit slower for me. May not be for some of these other guys, but definitely is for me. Yeah, let's dial in a bit understeer.
Randall?
Fucking Dave Jinks, man.
Right side. Clear on the right. Slow car ahead. Got a slow car on the right. Car stop on the right. Go left. You got a slow car on the left. Go right. 1 minute 45.938.
Go inside, Eric.
Thank you.
got a slow car on the right. You've got about 2 laps of fuel left.
I just have like no stability right now. You've got a slow car on the right.
Come in.
Stay on the right. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear. One minute 49.656. Go right. You got a slow car on the right. One minute 45.227.
both did that wrong. Yes, we did.
Car ahead. Car stop on the right.
Alright, let's just wait it out till qualifying. Bit slower than I'd like to be right now, but whatever. Put this over here. Okay, what is this? ISOWC broadcast is getting ready to start. quality's up. The odd or even cars first. Even. The even cars on track first. Odd cars second. Dave Jinx letting me by for some reason. Maybe I'm the one. Never mind. Oh, that's not good. Qualifying's off to a wonderful start. Oh well. Be alright. Unless we aren't. Cruise, I gotta make sure I get at least one good lap in. You only get 10 minutes per half of cars.
You got about 5 laps of fuel.
That's correct. Second 10 minutes, as soon as the 10 minutes are up, the odd numbered cars can go out on the racetrack.
I left the broadcast up. Okay, we're gonna hear a bit of Racespot then.
Reversing, really?
get about 2 more laps.
You got about 2 laps of fuel. 1 minute 45.161.
Fuck. Fuck. My last one's gonna have to be a good one.
Minute 45.18.
His part of qualifying, the checkered flag is out for the first of the 2 groups. For anyone who's on a lap, they are able to complete it. And now here come the odd-numbered cars. Michael Dinkle, however, right now has got is 7 tenths of a second faster than anyone else in the field.
That was depressing.
Quick in that number 10 car.
So obviously it's a massive psychological advantage. He's probably destroyed everyone else psychologically by thinking by going that fast. It certainly gives the other cars now going out a huge benchmark to try and achieve, but also the other guys out there who haven't been able to make it, a huge kind of psychological decrease, because of course they realise they've tried their best effort and then see someone who's the only man in the 140, and that must in some cases must be a bit soul destroying, because they've put all their hard work into making the setup, to getting used to the Sebring circuit, and to finding someone just goes out there and just destroys your time. I can't imagine what that's like. But of course, these guys will of course try and endeavour to fight for places and fight to get up the order in the race. So and as I've said many times, qualifying and practice is one thing, but the race is most certainly another, because of course you do have to try and fight your way through the field. And as it's motorsport, anything can happen, because there is always that element of unpredictability that is there in every single motor race.
Tim Doyle, the driver of the number 11 Foyt Wines machine, is on the racetrack, as is Miguel Angel Martinez, Nigel Raneth, Michael Armstrong, Tim Miller, Michael DeJean, Nell McBride, Robert Grosser, Chad Peterson, Eric Davis, Brandon Trainer, Mike Owen, Andrew Tarrant, Connor Cross, Terry Matinson, and Timo Inisomi. All
You'll get something to eat real quick before this race. We're back.
right now. For the second group of drivers, is it an advantage or a disadvantage to go, Scott? Because yes, they now know what to achieve, but at the same time, they've got the pressure to now actually do that time compared to the first group, when really all they're racing is themselves.
I think the smart drivers don't really look at the times. They just go basically what they feel is a quick lap, of course. Of course, now there's always some drivers who don't want to know their times at all, and they just drive and just see exactly what their end result is, and they go by feel of the car and what the setup's like, how it feels on the circuit, over the bumps, on the entrance, the middle of the apex, and the corners on the exit as well. So some drivers, it is all about the times, but sometimes it's all about being comfortable in the car. So I mean, it probably might be a bit of a split between some of the drivers. Some will be worrying, look at that 143 and thinking if they haven't managed to time somewhere around that, then they could be struggling somewhere down near the midfield. Some of the quick guys certainly will be using it as an incentive to go quicker. But I think for the most part, these guys will purely just be going out there just to see exactly how fast they can go. And of course, wherever they end up is of course something they'll have to just deal with going towards the race session.
So Andrew Tant bring his car onto pit road. He's not going to do that first lap. However, we've also got a couple of cars right now who are on laps, and we'll keep our eye out on Tim Doyle in that number 11 Foyt Wines machine car. He was only 27th in practice. He's looking to go a lot faster than that this time around in qualifying. You also have one guy who really needs to keep your eye on is Chad Peterson. He is really good in that Broker and Aero car, so we'll see how he goes over the course of this run. And Timo Insomi as well. Keep an eye out on that number 3 car, Scott, because he was pretty good in practice. 9th, I think he's got what it takes to really get himself into the top 5 in practice, in qualifying even.
Well, he was in practice times, he was 1.7 seconds off the fastest time set by, ironically, Michael Dinkel. So, of course, he's certainly got a little bit of work to go, but, of course, never discount anyone purely because of practice times. As I said, practice can mean a whole different thing. Someone could be quick in practice, but then obviously off the pace in qualifying, and it could be a different story in the race further still. So, I mean, obviously, Timo Isanimi could possibly have been sandbagging a little bit. He could have been mostly focusing on long run pace or on setups. We just don't know unless you talk to the driver and talk to the team. So team is now on a lap right now. So hopefully he might be able to get himself high up the grid, possibly for the race. But his pace certainly looks good. Top 10 in practice. So let's see where he slots himself in qualifying.
So then, as it stands right now, you had Brandon Traino go up into the 4th position on his first flying lap. You had Michel Dijon go up into P8 and Misomi up into P number 9. Tim Miller, he's got himself into the 16th position. Majel Manov up into 14th. They are the drivers who are on the second group of qualifying. They are trying to get themselves as far up the field as they possibly can. Thankfully with this track, Scott, it is very wide, so you can get yourself a little bit of clear traffic. However, a toe down the back straightaway can be useful, can actually gain you about 4/10 of a second depending on how your car is set up for qualifying.
Yeah, of course, that is the split they have to make. It's the decision, the compromise in terms of whether they go for how much mechanical and how much aero grip they go, and the trade-off between the two of them. Of course, less aero grip, of course, means that through the twisty sections, of course, they're going to be struggling for grip. They're going to be struggling to get the nose of the car in, either on the front if they're lacking front downforce, if they're lacking rear, then the car is not going to get the power down to be stable on the rear. Of course, if they go with the more mechanical grip option, on the aero grip option, it means of course they'll be slower on the straights, but of course it means they'll have much more on the twisty sections. And this is a circuit where you have to find a balance between the two. I think it's someone who finds the perfect balance definitely will do. But gearing might come into it as well, of course. Someone who possibly goes for a longer final gear might possibly benefit in the turbo slipstream. But of course, it all depends on how the traffic works, both in qualifying and in exactly which way you go in terms of the mechanical
presenting partner for the 2014 and for each and every round of the 2014 season. Also brought to you in part by iRacing.com. If you head over to iRacing.com right now, you can start your iRacing journey and become a sim racer from as little as $5 for your first month's membership, with 50% off 3 months, 1 year, and 2-year membership. Also brought to you in part by And Wanted Designs, and of course, in part by The Winning Days Show. It is every Friday, 4 PM Eastern. It is live and exclusive on Glacier TV. The most fun you can have with your pants on. The Winning Days Show. Glacier TV, every Friday, 4 PM Eastern. Chad Peterson moves himself up into P2 in qualifying, but is still 7/7 to a second behind Mikhail Dinkel. And Peterson right now, he has got a little bit of a draft down the back stretch as he tries to do himself another lap. But it does look as though he's actually trying to get himself a little bit of distance between the car ahead of him right now, Scott. We're going to ride on board with Peterson for this next lap, and he's actually behind. On board with Peterson for this next lap, and he's actually behind Tim Doyle. Going to get himself a good run out of this corner, leading himself onto that front straightaway. And then it's all about getting that momentum down for this first sector. It starts now into turn number 1. You see a marker on your right hand side, and then you just dive into the corner. You've got to try and find a balance. Hit your apex, run it wide, but not too wide. Kick up a little bit of dust, then you come down into the trickiest section of the racetrack. Turns 2, 3, and 4. 2, left-hander, then a right for 3, then a left-hander again for turn 4. Settle the car down nicely. Now you're flat on the gas all the way through turn 5. And Peterson there caught a little bit too much of that sawtooth curb on the inside of turn number 4, and that is going to cost him all the way for the rest of this lap. You see lap traffic ahead of him, Tim Doyle, and also, Tim Doyle going very sideways, and that's really going to pack everyone up. And Peterson ends his lap.
1 more minute left qualifying.
Sometimes it just doesn't go to plan, and for Peterson, he won't get back around in time to do another lap.
Yeah, that is just like a little. You can't always predict exactly when you can go out. You can't always control the cars in front and how they're going to react. Of course, you just have to try and do the best you can with whatever you're given on the track. Of course, you can do the best you can by trying to back off and give yourself track time. But in many cases, of course, Chad just got really unlucky with the fact that there's 2 cars in front. They were possibly either on out laps, in laps, or maybe they could have been on a flying lap. Whatever was the situation, of course, unfortunately one of the cars did get out of shape. Everyone checked up. It was an accordion effect, and Chad just happened to be on the end of it, and that was a qualifying lap spoiled. And he will start at least on the front row, at least, unless Andres Werner can just improve by slightly a few tenths. If he is in this group, apologies if he's not. But
Okay. Now I think this might be a standing start, if I remember right, which is going to be interesting, because I don't think, or are they rolling? Hold on. Should stay up here. We'll know in a second. Blah. Should have been up in here. Oh well. Another minute.
He's
Fine. Tim Miller, he was in 17th in practice, now only running 21st in qualifying. Andrew Tant is on a lap, as is Michel De Jong and Tim Doyle. Robert Grosser coming out of the final corner. Let's see whether that Moba car can improve. The number 13 machine coming out of the final corner. The charge toward the start-finish line, and for Grosser, he does a 1 minute 44.719, moving himself up into 9th place on the grid. Tim Doyle now coming down into turn number 17 for the final time. Let's see whether he can improve. Michel de Jong is not far behind, as is Andrew Tan. But Tim Doyle sweeping it to the right-hand side. Currently all the way down in 28th in the qualifying right now. He will work himself out of turn number 17. That charge round towards the start-finish line. Let's see whether he can improve. The answer is going to be yes, he does. It's a big jump up to P22 for Tim Doyle. Michel de Jong in the number 5 car.
Okay.
Keep it safe, guys, especially not lap traffic.
Oh,
be
rolling start.
consistent, be careful at all time. I don't care if you're slow, but if you wave you off, and don't forget, I will throw a caution for an incident involving more than 4 cars.
1 lap to green. Line up on the left side. Pit road is closed.
Will, can I get a ELO? Never mind. YOLO.
Alright. This is when the nerves start kicking in. Alright, so Sebring is going to be a bit interesting. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks, although I haven't quite been able to find the pace since I've woken up to do the run. It's actually,
single file till after you get into the backstretch if you want, guys.
pulled a 43.4, which is about where I kind of expected to be, but ended up with a 45.1, put me 13th. Not too far off the pole. It's about second and a half. So not too bad. Field is pretty close. Gap from second to myself is only a second, so just about anything can happen. Really, anyone could be running with anyone in this group of cars. I'm in. But I'm in.
Get ready, going green.
It's gonna be interesting starting from way up here on Sebring. I'm used to running proto GT races from like the Ford GT, being like just coming on the backstretch when the race goes green.
Right side. Stay on the left.
Goal right now is to survive.
Hold your line. Clear on the right. Right side. Clear on the right.
Sorry there, Mom. Little accordion.
Shit.
Yep, as usual.
And I'm done.
Break so early.
Well, everyone else was.
That's my race over. See what happened there? He hit me way too hard. And the car didn't have a shit ton of damage. Swear to God, if that was Dave fucking Jenks, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. Oh well. Say anything. Alright, well thanks for tuning in, guys, and
He improves his
Position. I'm trying to work out who that is in front of that.